Hello everyone. So today we're going to discuss about the next topic, which is demand forecasting and collecting customer information. This is basically the start of another chapter in our marketing management series. So I'm going to start this with the basics and then followed by an example of basically a small case study of a company, and obviously going forward with the forthcoming videos we will go into detail about why the demand forecasting is important, what is the information that needs to be collected, how it is collected. So basically those will be more detailed videos. In this video I'll cover the introduction and the example, the case study. Right now, the first thing is, why is demand forecasting important? Demand forecasting is important because the retail industry is ever changing, ever evolving, and companies and brands need to change their products, their services according to the varying and new demands of the customers. Right, they always need to reanalyze their opportunities and threats in the market, basically the external factors affecting their overall sales. I will leave the SWOT analysis video in the I button. Do check that out. Right, it also has an example for Apple there, so do check out that SWOT video. But yeah, so they need to take care of the external factors like opportunities and threats, and basically work upon them and keep on improving. Other important thing is, after they have forecasted, they need to adapt and evolve, and that is again an everlasting process. Right now, what are the major factors that macro environment factors that affect the demand forecasting and information collection? So those can be economics, socio-cultural, natural, political factors. Right, you have technological factors. So all these 4-5 factors are really important factors that affect the overall demand forecasting for a company or a brand. Now let's take an example. Now I'm taking an example of a very big company known as Campbell Soup Company. So it's a 150-year-old company with a revenue of around $9 billion. If I talk about fiscal year 2022, so it's a very old company, and it has made its mark in American household with its iconic as the name suggests, soup company, with their varieties of iconic condensed soups. Right, and they used to sell them in even today they used to sell them in tin cans, red and white with a gold badge in between. So that was a very good identifying factor for the company. It was a brand building thing. Right, so they have been there for so long. They have been there through the Great Depression. They had been there through World War II, serving people, serving the soldiers at wars, their tin cans, their tin soups, everything. Right, so over the course of time, the company had been very successful. They had done many major acquisitions in terms of various snack companies and various ready-to-eat meal companies, and so a lot of acquisitions also happened. So they were ever growing company. Right, but with the involvement of more ready to eat products, more fast food items, more frozen products, and with advancement in technology like my introduction of microwaves, people started shifting to other products, other competitions, and slowly and gradually the company saw the decline in its overall share from around 80% to 60%, and in the in the beginning of 2000s to somewhere around 2010, they saw even a greater dip, where the market share depleted from around 67% to 53% if they talk about the overall consumption. Right, the product consumption or the market share. Right now, in that market share, the company already had a very declining penetration for their soups, because there were a lot of competition in the market, and obviously the demand of soup, canned soup, was obviously declining. So they already had a 25% share in their overall sales for the canned soup, but it was already depleting. Now what the company saw is, especially in the USA, that they needed to segment out their customers very effectively. Now what the people who were earlier buying their products were old now, and the next generation had come up. Right now they realized that people from 18 to 34 years of age in US constituted to around 25% of the country's population. That is very huge, and they wanted to cater that market because those people were not buying, right? That is what they realized. Now what they did is they made a very big team, they made a big drive, and they just went out to understand what the customer wants, what that age group customer wants. They organized a lot of live-alongs and a lot of dine-ins with the customers, where they used to buy groceries with them, go to their home and basically cook with them and eat, or they go to dine out at restaurants and eat with them, and basically see their eating habits and their behaviors, right? What they found out is that a lot of these young age group people, they were more inclined towards freshly cooked products, more exotic vegetables and products, vis-a-vis the older generation that was not that much interested in such a complicated dish, and were happy to have a basic dish which they don't have to be very complicated about in cooking, right? So to cater the new segment, also the company did lots of acquisitions where it went into fresh product market and other things. But let's talk about the soup. To cater to that company, what they did is, after realizing the need, company launched 6 new varieties of soups, right? That were much more exotic, triple the price of what they were currently selling their soups at, and they shifted from tin cans to pouches. Why? Because tin cans gave the impression of the product being packed for a long time, not being fresh. So they shifted to pouches, right? Premium pricing also predicted that the products used in their soups are exotic. Basically, they are of very high quality. So the youth was ready to pay more with the impression of that you pay more for premium, right? So that added the premium value to the product. And obviously the 6 new products, the new flavors that designed, were basically based on what they saw that the people you like to eat, the exotic dishes that were currently very popular in the market. So they catered to those flavors, right? Now next what they did is, after doing all this, they collaborated with with their marketing team and promoted these products heavily online. So this was the first time that they heavily promoted their products online through Facebook campaigns, their gamings, even companies like Spotify, right? They have collaborated with Rovio, where they had a campaign run with their new Angry Bird game. So this was a very heavily online marketed campaign, and it was very successful for the company. So overall, you need to see how a 150-year-old company that is rooted in its tradition, even it had to adapt, it had to change itself, and it had to work around the new generation. They had to do their segmentation targeting, they had to do their SWOT analysis, and they finally had to work on their products, introduce new lines, and even market them in such a way that they find the success and they win back their market share. Because 13 to 14% drop in the market share is very big in terms of companies that are dealing in revenues in billions, right? So adapting, changing is very important. Demand forecasting, the term that we are using here, is important, because if you cannot forecast what your customers want, you cannot do that, then obviously you will be at a loss. You won't be able to create your niche, you won't be able to serve the customers better. Also, information collection, the other aspect of this chapter, is also very important, because you cannot do the demand forecasting without proper information, without collecting proper information. What are the means to calculate to collect that information? That is also important. How to analyze the collected information, finally how to come to the results, that is also very important. We will discuss all these things in the coming chapters, but I hope this company's example, this small case study, gave you a very big highlight that how demand forecasting and information collection is important, right? I'll see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe and share, and please take care of your health, wear your masks. Yeah, take care. Bye.